Okay, we're going to learn Rambam now. Laws of prayer.
Well, what was it before?
What was it? Talmud.
Oh.
Okay, today we're going to learn why the Shemona Esrei, the way we have it today, is in the order that we have it today. Why? So, in the one of the blessings of Shemona Esrei, we've davened Hashem to get rid of all the wicked people. Why are all the wicked people? So it says in the days of Rabbi Gamliel, one of the leaders of the Jewish nation, there suddenly became a lot of bad people within the Jews that really harassed the Jewish nation. And they tried to convince the Jews to leave Judaism. So therefore he said, people really need this from Hashem to get rid of these people. They made a special prayer during davening to get rid of them. Of course, we rather they should do tshuva. And that term makes Shemona Esrei, which means 18, makes it really 19 blessings. What happens if somebody can't have kavanah? He can't think straight. So they made a very short blessing, which we don't do today for some reason. And it has, you start off with, if you say the first three, you say the last three, but then in the middle, you say one that contains all of them. This is only in the summer when you don't need to ask for rain in the bracha of Baruch Aleinu. On Shabbos and Yom Tov we have 7 blessings. We don't have 18 or 19, and we say Hashem. We end up the blessing, the middle blessing. Blessed are you, Hashem, that makes Shabbos holy. The reason why we don't say all the blessings is because Shabbos is not a time to ask for our needs. We have to rest. We can't worry about our needs. During the week, we have to ask Hashem for our needs. But on Shabbos, we can't because we have to be busy enjoying ourselves. Or if you think, what we need, I need this, I need that, you won't be relaxed. Shabbos, you have to be as if everything is done. Everything is fixed. Everything's perfect in your life.
But still, there is one of the blessings. Shemona Esrei.
Not on Shabbos. No. On Rosh Hashanah, there's something special. We say 9 blessings in Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. We say Malchias, we say all about Hashem's kingdom, Zechreines, Hashem remembering us, Shefares, which means the concept of Gabel and the Shefer by the Mount Sinai, Mashiach comes. And so too on Yom Kippur, which is Yovel, in times of the first temple, every 50 years there was a Yovel. We're going to learn about it a different time. And that year, you also be Yom Kippur, they said 9 blessings. On Rosh Hashanah, you say, what do we say? We call it the Day of Remembrance. On Yom Kippur, we say he's the king of the world and one that makes holy the day of Yom Kippur. If it's Shabbos and Yom Kippur, or Shabbos and Rosh Hashanah, or Shabbos and Yom Tov, you say Shabbos.
This year is Shabbos.
This year it's Shabbos, the first day. So only the second day we blow the shofar on the second day, and therefore, if you know any Jew which can't go to shul because of the situation right now, make sure you go to them and blow the shofar. If you don't have a shofar yet, speak to Rabbi Kiva.
Never shofar. I just don't know.
So practice for a week.
I bought an agenda next to Galenstein. There's a small store.
Before every davening, we say, we talk to Hashem, we ask Hashem, open my lips, let me speak straight up to you. It's like you're standing in front of a king. You don't know what it is, because I never met a king before, a real king. But it's explained in the Hasidus that when you stand in front of a real king, a Jewish king, King David, King Shaul, you would totally lose your self-conscious. You would forget that you exist. You would be totally like a stone. So how could you speak in front of a king? You can't even think. So that's what you say before you daven. Say, Hashem, open my mouth. When you stand in Shemona Esrei, you're meant to talk as if you're talking to a king. It's awe. And you almost like you can't even speak, as if Hashem is opening your mouth and saying the words for you. On Rosh Chodesh, Shabbos, Yom Tov, and Chol Hamoed, we say Ya'aleh V'Yaveh. It's very important to remember to say Ya'aleh V'Yaveh. If it's Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, then there's a special, you see in the Siddur, special Shemona Esrei we say for them. And we mix both together, we talk about Rosh Chodesh and we talk about Shabbos. And of course, but we're not going to get there yet soon. If Yom Tiv is right after Shabbos, so in general, Motzei Shabbos, we say a special davening in Atochenin. The fourth blessing in Shemona Esrei, we say a special prayer, davening to Hashem, praising Him for separating the holy from not holy, and also the week and Shabbos. We ask Hashem blessings for the coming week to be connected to Hashem and not to be always connected with Purim. But also, even when Yom Tiv is right after Shabbos, we also have to separate between Shabbos and Yom Tiv during davening, just like we say Havdalah too, and we say a special prayer for that.
Good.
Yes. Hanukkah and Purim, we say Alanissim, between the last blessings of the second to last blessing of Shemona Esrei, we're praising Hashem. We say Alanissim, we praise Hashem for the wonders that He did. And if it's Musaf, if it's Shabbos or Rosh Chodesh, by Musaf you also say Alanissim. In a fast day, there's a special prayer, Anenu, that we say by Shemei Tefillah. You'll see in the Siddur by the prayer of Shemei Tefillah, you say a special paragraph called Anenu. And Tisha B'Av, we say another prayer, Rach, and in the blessing of building Jerusalem, we say Rachim. Another thing which is very important to remember is the difference of Merid Atol, Merid Geshem. Masha Barach Merid Geshem. In the summer we say Merid Atol. In the winter we say Masha Barach Merid Geshem. If you say in the summer, yes. So it's very important. Sometimes if you mix up, then you meant to say Shemona Esrei all over again. If you say it should rain during the summer, it's considered a curse. And that's why also Baruch Aleinu, you have the same bracha and then Talu Matar. Matar means rain. So in the winter you have to ask for rain. So say Talu Matar. When, like you said, Shemini Atzeres, you start saying Masha Baruch. Pesach, you start saying Merid Atol, and then you also start saying the same bracha.
Why you want to pour December?
All right, but in December, that's when we start saying Baruch Aleinu.
Why it's not Jewish? Why it's a Jewish?
Because we're it's the time of the year that we need rain.
But why it's a Jewish day?
Because the Jewish calendar also goes according to the sun. The months go according to the moon, but the year goes according to the sun. That's why you have a leap year. Sometimes you have 12 months. Then we have 13 months. Why? Because we need to go according to you have to have Pesach in the spring, right? And therefore, we also have to make sure that we're going somewhat connected with the moon, with the sun, and therefore also we have to pray for rain. When do we need rain? When the world needs it, and that's dependent on the weather, which is the sun. Places which need rain randomly, can say that all the prayers by Shemei Tefillah. Shemei Tefillah is the time that anything you need from Hashem that you didn't find in the prayer book during davening written down, you say during Shemei Tefillah. You can say everything you want. Pray for everyone that you wanted to pray for, all the things you want, and it's a mitzvah to do so because when you want something, you have to pray to Hashem. During the 10 days that was coming up, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you have to say Hamelech HaKadosh, not Hakel HaKadosh. And you have to say Hamelech HaMishpat. Yes, a second. That's not so important. The main two things that are most important is Hamelech HaKadosh and Hamelech HaMishpat. In the third bracha and the 10th bracha, you have to make sure you say Hamelech, and you don't say Hakel, or you don't say Oy Yitzchaka, because it's a time of judgment, and we have to acknowledge it. Like you said, there's another few things that we mentioned, Zachreinu L'Chaim, and we also mentioned Zachar HaMecha and the Sefer Chaim, and this is all customs. And there are people actually that the whole 10 days, by the third blessing, they say the whole L'Chein Tifach L'cha, which is a long prayer that we say specifically on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Some people say other 10 days. We do not, at least not in this show. When do you have to daven Shachris? You have to daven Shachris with the nates, right? Like we said before, Shema until the nates, Shachris from the nates. Until when? Till 4 hours in a day. If you miss that, you could pray till midday, but you were missing the benefit of doing davening in the right time, because mincha is correspondent, the sacrifice that they brought on the altar in the afternoon. Therefore, we daven mincha 9.5 hours from the morning, which is 2.5 hours before sunset. However, if you certain circumstances, like most yeshivas, they actually do it earlier, because technically from 6.5 hours you could start mincha. That's when they brought that sacrifice of the afternoon in the day that they brought the Korban Pesach, because there was so much Korban Pesach, and they have to do it after that, the sacrifice of the afternoon. Therefore, they did it early. So the whole year, from a half an hour after midday, you technically daven. Some people in the times of the Rambam did 2 minchas. One because they have to, and one because they want to talk to Hashem.
2 ashrik, 2 amida.
2 amidas. So,
And 2 ashrik.
Bet if you're doing 2, the first one should be the optional one. The second one, when the main mincha time is closer to sunset, that should be the one that you should look for.
You can daven anytime or also?
Optional, you can daven anytime, as long as you add something. One thing during davening, you could, like, please give me a good wife. Or your kids shouldn't bother you. Second. When can you daven musaf? You can daven musaf also from chatzos. Until when? I mean, of course, you can daven before chatzos musaf. I'm saying you can daven till 7 hours, an hour after midday. That's when you can daven musaf. If you didn't daven musaf till then, it's not so good. But you can daven until sundown. When is Ma'ariv time? From night till morning.
Yeah, and we just started to do the right time.
And Ne'ilah is meant to be finishing before Shkia. You finish. If you pray before the time to pray, gotta pray again. Shacharis, you could daven a little bit early from Alais. From a little bit, Alais is there's night when you can see the sun in the sky, and Alais is when it starts cracking dawn. Then if you're going on a journey and there's no way to daven later, then you can daven from then. Also, some shuls they daven Ma'ariv early, before, as long as it's after an hour and 50 minutes before Shkia, and you daven mincha before that, then you can daven Ma'ariv early. What happens if someone didn't daven on purpose? Nothing to do about it. If by mistake, he can daven 2 davenings the next davening. But he can't, if let's say he missed 2 davenings, he can't daven the next one 3 davenings. You only daven 2. If someone has mincha and he has musaf, the Rambam says he davens mincha, then musaf. But the custom is over here, for some reason, he davens musaf and then mincha.
In which case?
If it's already time for mincha. So which goes first? The Rambam says mincha goes before musaf, because there's a rule, tadir, v'sh'eni tadir, tadir kaidim, which means if something is, you're very, it's a common thing, you always do it. So the Torah says that goes first, and then you do the uncommon thing, right? If there's a poor guy in Africa, and then there's your wife who's hungry, so first take care of your wife, make her supper, and then if she's sick or she's too lazy, and then you can help the person out, because always whatever is the regular is regular, and then you do the extra. So the main thing is this is all technical detail. The main thing is when you daven, it says over here, you have to say Hashem Sefasei Tiftach, which means you have to let Hashem open your mouth. You have to talk to Hashem with so much concentration and so much meditation, as if you're talking straight to a king. And you should feel like you're talking to somebody, not like you're talking to yourself. You're talking to Hashem. And you're meant to be in awe, because the great Hashem. And that's why I said in Shulchan Aruch, before you daven, you must contemplate how great Hashem is and how small you are. And then you realize how lucky you are to even say a word to him. Forget about the whole davening. And therefore, you should just go to Hashem and say, Hashem, Hashem, open my mouth. Which means you just want to stand there in awe and just let him take you away and connect to Hashem. Everyone have a great night.